Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. We're going to work on the neon grungy some more today. So here's the plan. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm going to distress the signatures some around the edges because we are trying to make this a grungy journal. Then I think I'm going to stitch them in and then do the distress inks and some stuff. So I think that is the plan moving forward. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I have a bunch of different stuff on the table. Obviously we need the signatures, the cover. I made a little template to be able to stitch the signatures in. I have my foam. Move this stuff off to the side for now because we won't need it for the distressing part of the situation. So let's get this stuff sorted so it's not gonna get messed up, and make sure I know which is the top, which is the bottom. Make sure our pages are where I wish them to be. So I'm going to make sure the pages are all lined up correctly first, evenly or unevenly as it might be. I think they're pretty good. That center one was a little weird. Now we are going to have a little bit of sticking here or there yet because of the acrylic paint on some things, but that should go away as we keep working. And if we get little tears and bobbles and things like that, that's going to be fine too. So I'm going to put a couple extra clamps on here, binder clips, just to keep everything nice and straight. Let's double check this friend. And then we are going to kind of do some bashing and whacking and things like that. I think that, yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Put one up here. And then let's get a smaller one. Smaller one. This friend maybe. Not as small. Okay. All right, so next. So I'm going to probably make some noise and stuff. So I am just going to start loosening up the pages, making some dents. So I'm just pinching this tight, and then I am just going to use a hammer a little bit, give it some, so everything's not going to be even and straight anymore. That's kind of our goal. We want to, or for doing a grungy like this, this is what I want. This is how I want it to be. We're going to really get these edges beat up and maybe cause some tears, things like that. Let's do some hammering on this friend. Get some good marks. And that's going to give us some spots for the inks to kind of start to distribute a little bit. And then it'll be kind of a fun thing to show. Now I might have to do this in a couple of parts because these might have to dry before we stitch the signatures in. So yeah. I'm not doing anything on the spine because I want that to stay nice and intact, but we'll do up on the corners a little bit and things like that. So that's with that. Now I want a slightly different kind of, I don't know if this is going to be any different. I should have grabbed some other little tools just to give some variation. Oh, it is working here. And is it going to wreck some of our pages a little bit? Yep, but that's kind of the point. Let's do this friend some. And I'm going to kind of give them some smushies here and there with my fingers. And now let's put them both together. Like, is this the top? Yeah. So Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. I'm going to clamp them both together now and do the same thing. Probably should have done that to start with so we get some more fun stuff happening. That is the top. I think we wanted to go this way and this way. Is that how we wanted to go? Yes, I think so. All right, now we're going to clamp these two together now and do a little bit more, and we should get some variation as well. Bring this, slide this one up just a little bit. Okay. It's okay if it kind of smashes in a little bit. I want some kind of little open spots. Hopefully get some tears in here. All right, I thought another, let's use, we're gonna use the side of a scissors. Probably thinking, what are you doing? All that work. Well, that's part of the process for this. And it is fun. You should try it. Get out some aggression. Hit some areas a little harder than others. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now let's see what we got here. See, it's already going to start getting more flexible too, which is kind of fun. I'm just going to kind of smash some pages in here and there so we get some varied textures as we start getting ready to make a mess. Hooray! I like making messes, making fun messes. So I'm just kind of smashing in some of the pages here and there on the corners especially. Maybe some dents. Make it look like it's been around for a while. And also just loosening up that paper is going to let some of the inks and everything start to absorb into the paper, run around them. All right, protect our work surface and let's have some fun here. I should have grabbed something to hold this friend up. I don't know that I have anything easy to use, so I guess we'll just have to make do with what we got. So I'm thinking, and this is going to be an experiment, so we're going to do it together. I'm going to put some of the powder on here in some spots too, but I'm going to hit it with a little water. Now, could this cause some more sticking? It could. But we'll see what we get. It's going to be a fun experiment. So I'm getting this a little damp on the edges. That's why it's going to take some time to dry. So I'm going to put just a couple spots of orange. And it should kind of stick. And then we're going to do some other stuff. Okay, so there's some orange. And I'm going to do a little bit of the blue. I know the blue is really potent. And now we're going to take, I have a little bit of Distress Oxide in this blue because I thought it would be a good complement. So I'm going to spray a little bit of that here and there. Okay. And now we're going to take some, let's give it a little spritz, because we want it to start dribbling down inside too. So we're just going to kind of keep turning it, giving it some fun. And now let's get a little bit of this. This is that really vibrant pink. And we could have some really interesting like color things happening too. And we want it to run. We want it to get, oh, it's already looking really, really cool. Little controlled mess situation. I love it. Hard to say if we need more or not. What do you, normally with the grungy, it's like layers of like your darker colors, muted tones. So this is way different to do a grungy in these sort of colors. So right now it's really bright. It's really, really fun. But let's go ahead. I wonder if the sprayer is going to work today. I would love a little splash of this. Just a little, because I know this stuff is like really potent. Okay, a couple little dark splashes of that blue. And let's do a tiny bit of green. Maybe. I don't have much left in this, friend. But that's okay. And a tiny bit of red. Don't want to spray it or dribble it. Let's make some red dribbles. Maybe. It's not going to work very good, I don't think. All right, I guess we're going to have to spray it, hopefully. We fine. Okay, I think that's good. Let it go, let it go, let it be. And we'll hit it a little bit more. Okay. Not really much there. Let me get some. Let's see what we're looking at. Oh, look at that. It's going to look so cool. Okay. So now we're going to leave this to dry now. So that is the plan. We're going to let this dry, and then I'll come back when this is dry. We'll stitch in the signatures and put it into the book. Okay, so I think we're all dry, mostly dry. I let this sit overnight, and there might be a few spots that are a little damp yet, but let's go ahead and see what we've done and how it looks. Oop, sticking a little. I was worried about that in a couple of the spots. So the acrylic paint is going to be a little bit stickier. But like I said, it's a grungy journal. If we have some rips and tears and stuff, it's okay. We had a fun imprint from that, from our inks and everything. All right, so are you excited to see what we've done? Maybe we have to get these apart here. Maybe it'll flex more as we go. So we're gonna have around our edges, we'll see what we got. We should have some fun coloration and some designs here. Some stuff might be sticking a little bit, and that'll get better as we work with it. Just gotta go slow. Okay, well, maybe wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle. There it goes. Little bits are going to stick here and there. It is definitely something that I was thinking might happen, but that's okay. It's a grungy. This is fun. Oh, that fabric looks really cool. The ones that are really painty are going to be the ones that are a little bit more sticky. And I thought about trying to do this while it was still damp, but as we know, wet paper wants to tear. So we're just gonna go slow. There are gonna be some spots, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It'll add character. How pretty though. We might have to spritz in a few spots to get it to loosen up. Oh, this turned out so nice. And see, we have this kind of all folded and crumpled together. This is our centerpiece here. Okay, come on, friend. So it's still just a little bit tacky yet, I can feel on this one. I'm just gonna wiggle it around and see if that'll loosen up the paint a little bit because it's wanting to stick to itself, especially on the edges. Come on, you can do it. Just slow, patient wiggles here. Oh, come on. Really don't want this one to be ruined because this was our centerpiece. I wonder if we put a little heat on it, see what happens, if it'll loosen. Let's try it. Who knows, right? Let's give it a shot. Maybe that'll relax everything a little bit. It's worth a shot. Let's try it. No, I don't think that did anything. So next option, we could try a little water. So this is a good experiment for you guys to see too. So I'm doing the thing so you can see what we did wrong or what we can do better. That is really stuck together. And it's because of the paint getting wet, and it was a risk. I wonder if we get it wet again, will we be able to get this to release? We could try it. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's see how everything else goes. Some of these are great. So pretty. Our colors are fantastic. That one's really stuck too. Let's just try and loosen them a little bit this way maybe. Maybe if we just loosen them up, be a little rough. Maybe I'm being too gentle. To remember, it's a grungy. It's going to be fine. Okay, that did. So that's good. And it is a little bit damp here yet. So I'm just going to try and wiggle it around until maybe it'll loosen up a little bit, because it shouldn't be that overly stuck. So I think what I might do is fight with this some more off camera, but you get the gist of it. We have pages that are sticking together. And you know what? I was thinking about that yesterday too, that I should have loosened up how I had them pinched together, and I should have done it. I should have just done it. So we're gonna see what we can see, but we have a lot of great stuff happening, and maybe we can have some more great stuff. So not everything is stuck together, which is good. Look at how pretty that is. Oof. We do have some fantastic things happening. So this is our start of our 2 signatures, and they stuck together pretty well too. And I think it's the combination of the paint, because we had those jelly prints, and then the paper, which is highly absorbent, having some issues. So let's see. Maybe if I have something really thin to slide in there to get everything unstuck, that will help. See what else we have happening. I don't want to force it because I don't want to tear everything, but I do want some stuff to just let it go. And maybe I just need to kind of mush it a little bit to get things to release. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm going to take this off camera and work on it a little bit and see if we can get it a little bit unstuck. So that's what we have for our experiment so far, because now it has become an experiment. So we're going to figure out what we might need to do differently next time. So obviously it's a problem with the jelly plating because it's acrylic paint, so it's wanting to stick together. So let's see if we can't find a way to get these guys to relax. And it's a grungy journal, so we have to remember it's okay to be grungy. Okay, I'm going to work on this and I will show you the results when we get back then. All right, so now we can see I got everything loosened up. I used this needle to kind of slide it in and try and wiggle stuff around. I also use my bone folder. So let's see what we accomplished. So it is a grungy journal. I had to remind myself of that because, you know, stuff happens. We learn. And I have learned something valuable today with this. And that is jelly prints will stick to each other even when they're really, really dry. So at least we know. I mean, it's beautiful. This is going to be a fantastic, bright, grungy journal. I'm happy with it. I'm still happy with it. I will show you where the issue pages are. I just want to show you how everything looks. So this was the one that was really stuck, and there was no unsticking it, really. And not only that, it needs to be repaired. So we're going to set this off to the side. We need to repair this before we can stitch our signature together. But let me show you the rest of the pages. That was really the worst one. So otherwise, we have a lot of great things that worked out really well. We should probably make sure this pocket opens. Yes, it does. Okay. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love how everything turned out. I wasn't thrilled because that was one of my favorite pieces in here, but you know what? It's okay. It's going to be even more interesting. This definitely stuck in here, but we got that one loose very carefully. And then we get to these friends. And a few of these were sticking a little bit. Now, these 2 pages stuck really, really thoroughly together. And so this one tore. I saved the piece because we're going to tape it back in. Remember, it's a grungy anyway, so it's totally fine. So that was the first signature. That one we need to fix before we can stitch it in. This we're going to patch. So then these stuck along the edge in some spots, but it does make like a really great impression and imprint. It looks like this definitely has been through some things. Now this fabric turned out so amazing. It is so pretty. I love that. I love it. I love it. Oops. So we're just gonna keep going through here. I was surprised that the doily held up. It did stick, but I got it to let go and it's still fine. It may not be a pocket anymore. I'm not worried about that. Even though like we folded it to be a pocket, I'm not gonna try and tear that one apart. It can just be background pretty stuff. All right, then these friends. All good, no worries there. we didn't really have as much in the second signature that really stuck as well. So this stuck a little bit. I might throw a couple little pieces of tape on there or something just to reinforce it since it's the center of the signature. And then moving on to the back part of this. Pocket is fine. These turned out really good. Really happy with them. So our color and everything, and it was funny, apparently I had like one of these pages was rumpled a little bit inside the signature too, which was interesting. This one turned out good too. There we go. And then of course this one stuck. We might reinforce this a little bit. I don't mind that this is here. I probably am going to leave that. And then of course our back page. So little bit of repair there to do. This one we definitely need to repair. So that is what we're going to do first before we can stitch these signatures in. And so we have some options. We could use some of our tape that we made. We could use a scrap of fabric. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe do a little piece of fabric on the back here because it would be interesting. And then we'll throw a piece of tape over the front. So I think that's what we're going to do. I have this piece of, I actually kind of like the back side better, some of that green, and I had used it to soak up some of our inks and stuff earlier. So I think I'm going to cut this down and we're going to get this fastened onto here. I'm going to glue it a little bit and then take it to the sewing machine later. So I want it to be, I want some rough torn edges here. I don't want straight edges. So I'm going to tear some of it apart. Oop. Ah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this interesting little experiment. Now I got to figure out which part I want. I kind of like some of it not being maybe about right there. Okay. See what we got going on here. Do we like the muted side or this? I kind of like the back side of it, to be honest. Now, do we want it this way? I kind of like that. I think that's the way we'll do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this glued on here a little bit with just some glue stick. And then once it's dry, I'll take it to the sewing machine. And then plus, since this is the center of the signature, it'll be nice and sturdy. So we're going to get this friend on here. And now we're going to do something fun on this side too. So even though we have that, I still want to put something over this middle. And I think I'm going to take a piece of one of the tapes that I made for this project. And we'll see how they look. So I've got a bunch of different options. This is a heavier duty tape. This is obviously just a Scotch tape. I think I'm going to use a piece of this packing tape. And which piece do I want to take? I think I kind of like something in here. Maybe this purple splatter right there. This one. So I'm going to try and see if I can. You know what? I can cut the butcher's paper. That would be fine. So. Because this is, yeah, this is not butcher's paper. What is this called? Baking paper. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And maybe about right here. Okay. So it's a non-stick paper. And this should be plenty sticky yet. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I was worried some of that might come off. Dang, that's okay. Because I used alcohol ink on it. and some of it looks like it wants to rub off, and that's fine. We're learning stuff. I'm surprised that that is rubbing off. Sadness. That's okay. We can add some other designs onto it later. We know that we're going to have a sturdy center for our signature. I wonder if I need to sew that. Do we want to sew that? Do we not want to sew that? I think it'll stay really well, just as is. Decisions. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. It's a bummer that that's rubbing off. Yeah, it's coming right off that tape. That was supposed to stay on there. That was alcohol ink, and it's supposed to stay onto the cellophane like that. Bummer. I wonder if it's going to rub off my other stuff. Well, that one stays. Well, shapoops. That's a bummer. We're finding out all kinds of stuff today. Packing tape doesn't want to take alcohol ink very well. I don't think I'm going to sew that side. I had some sewing already. We reinforced this. All right. Anything else need repaired in this? No, it did not. So let's get these signatures in here. Let's get them in our book for Pete. Oh, for Pete. See if I can get this lined up. I want to line up the stuff the way that it was. I think it's good. Should be fine. Just double checking, making sure everything is layered where it's supposed to be and hasn't wiggle wobbled. Technical terms, wiggle woggled, wibble wobbled. Okay. Oops. So that and that. And I need my... set this stuff off to the side while I was working on things. So I'm gonna get these paper clipped together nice and tight for the stitchings. Is that nice and tight? Yes. So we can sew it into our journal. So we can get to the fun of the decorating. Hooray. Put this. I am putting 4 on here. I want this to stay put because it's going to be a little tricky to get it into our journal, and that's okay. I knew that was going to happen. I want that to stay up. Like so. All right, what color do we want to use to stitch it in? I'm thinking the green would be a good contrast. And the green will look good on the spine. So let's use green. Now this is my little template for punching our holes in the cover and everything. So first I'm going to punch my holes in the cover with my template, making sure it's lined up appropriately. I already did all the measuring. I've shown you guys how I do this other times, so I didn't get into it. If I do need to repeat that at some point, please let me know. So I'm just making sure this is lined up evenly on both sides, because we're also going to use this as a guide for our signature to be placed as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I have it. I am making my holes into my cover. So that's the interesting thing that you guys have gotten to see today. I made mistakes. Not really mistakes. What you don't know, right? And I didn't know that all of those papers were going to stick together, but here we are. They did. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we repair our page and we think about it for the next time and figure out what is going to be the best option to make something work. And that is what we did. Or I did. Hopefully I am not bumping stuff too much with my head. Just trying to see where I need to go here. Make sure everything is lined up properly. I have my guidelines, which I am using. I'm trying to make this nice and even and straight. Last little spot. Hopefully everything will be good. And I got those lined up properly. Wahey, hooray. All right. I'm going to stitch this in. 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'll probably fast forward. All right, friends, we have a journal. Our signatures are stitched in. Everything looks good. How flippin' cute is this journal going to be? It's going to be awesome. So now we get to go into the fun stuff of starting to decorate, make it even more grungy looking, add some other fun elements, and yeah, go from there. This is going to be cool. So here's that center signature, everything in there with our fabric, and the other one is all stitched in too. And I'm going to kind of let this be loose and not tighten it at all while everything is finishing, because some of these pages are still a little bit damp. And then I have an idea to prevent that sticking, so we'll get into that the next time to make sure that we're not going to have continued issues with some of these jelly prints sticking together. So yeah, and we'll do some more fun repair, make it more grungy looking as we do that. Find some things, make some stuff to put in our pockets, add journaling spots, make it funky and grungy and fantastic and all that good jazz. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave me a comment. Tell me, oh, well, I've done that too, or yeah, didn't you know that they'd stick together? Well, thinking about it now, yeah, I should have known that, but it is what it is. They stuck, and we're going to make the most of it, and it's going to add to our grungy journal, so it'll be totally fine. We're going to make something beautiful here. Grungy beautiful. Not perfect beautiful, but yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. These are going to keep happening on Sundays till we finish this little fun friend. And then, of course, Tiny Tuesdays, and then Thursdays, whatever random thing I feel like sharing. So I hope you guys enjoy everything I'm doing. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And yeah, don't forget, art with your heart. Bye.